And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the virtual information session for the University of New Haven Graduate School. My name is Marcus Hanscom. I work here in graduate admissions at the university, and just so you know a little bit about my background, I actually came to the university, did my undergraduate studies here, as well as my graduate studies. So I'm somebody that's lived and breathed the undergraduate and graduate experience here. I love the university. I came here from the Boston area originally, so I did relocate to come to the university and really have a passion for what we do here, and that's ultimately why I still work at the institution, because I really love what we do here and the types of things that hopefully you'll see as we go along. Some of the things that are core to what the university does are really critical or really important to me. And I hope you'll hear that throughout the session today, and hopefully give you some insights into not only the University of New Haven Graduate School, but graduate school as a whole. And I'm very well aware of the type of investment of time and money, certainly, and effort that it takes for you to come to graduate school, and hopefully you'll get a little bit of insight on what that experience will be like for you at the University of New Haven. Just so I can make sure that you can hear me, you'll see on the right-hand side of your screen there's a questions box, and if you could just enter hi in there or something real quick, just so I know you can hear me fine in there, that'd be great. And as we go along through the session, please feel free to ask any questions that you have in that box. So good. So a few of you are hearing me. That's great. So if you have any questions, feel free to enter them all in that box. And this is a broad session, so I won't be going into too much detail on each of the programs, although I know a number of you are interested in some specific programs, so I will try to touch on those as we go along. But if you'd like more specific information, I'd be happy to follow up with you and give you a more detailed session, or set up a visit for you, or you can just give us a call. We'd be happy to do anything you'd like. One thing that is really important to us here is that we deliver a customized and personalized experience for you, both before you're a student and while you're a student here at the university. So if you have anything that you'd like that will help you make your decision-making, whether it be to come to University of New Haven or elsewhere, make that process a little bit better for you, feel free to give me a call or call any one of our staff. We're happy to accommodate you with a class visit or just an information session, either over, we could do a Skype session if you want, or you could just text message us if that's the only way to reach us, or if you'd like us to visit you and bring you coffee somewhere and meet you somewhere, we're happy to do that as well. So be sure to ask any and every question that you have, and we'll be happy to accommodate you as best as we can throughout the process. So just a little bit about us. If you're not familiar with the university, I know some of you are local and some of you from out of state as well. So just so you're a little familiar with what the university has to offer. We're a private nonprofit institution located in actually West Haven, Connecticut. Contrary to our name, we actually started in New Haven, Connecticut way back in 1920. And we have currently 1,700 graduate students. They come from 38 states and 44 countries. So we're very geographically diverse, both within the United States and, of course, internationally as well. And approximately we're half and half full-time, part-time. So what that means is that if you're coming here full-time from another state, I know that we have a student here from New Jersey. If you're relocating, there's a lot of students in your boat that are be here full-time and they're relocating and they want to live in the area. And then for those of you that are working professionals, we have a lot of working professionals here that study. The majority of our classes are in the evening, so the scheduling really helps with those students. And we were founded on the basis of serving working professionals back in the 1920s anyhow. So that's really critical and core to our mission of what we do here at the university. And we started as business and engineering, which is really where our applied learning kind of focus came from. And we've really built from that over the past close to a century now. We'll be celebrating 100 years in 2020, so we're looking forward to that. So I just want to tell you briefly a little bit about what things are happening here right now. We're really proud of some of the accolades we've gotten recently. We've invested a lot in the campus. We've had a number of great news stories for our graduate school, and talk to you a little bit about our graduate student showcase and a few of our new programs as well. We actually, for the third year in a row, were ranked in the Tier 1 North category for U.S. News and World Reports as the U.S. News Best Colleges ranking. So we're really proud of that ranking. It recognizes the quality of the academic experience that we offer here, the quality of faculty, the facilities, our student body, so we're really proud of that. We're also recognized in the top 15% of what they call military-friendly schools, and that was by GI Jobs magazine. We're really proud of that as well, so that we can help serve our veterans who have served our country so well over many decades of service, and we'd like to help those students in coming in. We are a yellow ribbon school, so we do participate with the yellow ribbon program in helping offset most, if not all, of veteran tuition through the GI Bill and veteran benefits as well. One of our newest facilities on campus we're really proud of. Within the last couple of years, we opened up, I believe it was in the fall of 2010 that we finally opened the building, or perhaps 2011 at this point. My memory is escaping me. But our Henry C. Lee Institute of Forensic Science, it's a hallmark facility on our campus. It's one of our premier programs in forensic science that we offer here. We were one of the first in the country to offer such a program. And we started the program in a closet-sized office for Dr. Henry Lee, who's regarded as the leading forensic investigator in the world. And he started our program in a closet-sized space, and here we are with a brand new building with a forensic science museum, a number of high-tech touchscreen computer lab or crime scene investigation labs. We also have a wet lab where students are actually doing hands-on crime scene investigation. We also have some state-of-the-art technology for forensic science that federal and state agencies actually rent from us, so our students have access to these state-of-the-art technologies right in the classroom. And we have kind of a satellite uplink room, I call it the Pentagon room, where students can actually process a crime scene remotely by sitting in the room in this facility, and cameras are used to beam via satellite uplink video from a crime scene from anywhere in the world. So it's a really intuitive facility. We also are very proud of that we have a new campus that opened in Florence, Italy. Unfortunately, it's not currently offering any graduate opportunities, although we plan to offer some in the future to have our students study there and do some research. We do have some partnerships with other universities abroad as well if you wanted to pursue those options. Some of our programs have defined study abroad opportunities as well, so you could certainly look into that. We also have a number of faculty on our staff that are leading experts in a variety of different industries, and one of them is Dr. Eva Sappi. She's regarded as a leading expert in the country in Lyme disease research, and she actually uncovered with a group of our graduate students a way to attack Lyme disease that hasn't been practiced in the past, where instead of attacking the Lyme disease site, they're actually attacking a kind of shell that forms around the site, and then that's allowing doctors to more effectively treat Lyme disease. So it's really interesting work that some of our students are doing, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of our cellular biology students and what they're doing in that program. We have a brand new, over the last year or so, we've started offering a graduate student showcase. Each fall and spring we hold this event to showcase our students' work in what's really core to our mission here, and it's experiential education. We want to make sure that our students have real opportunity to practice what they're learning in the classroom, and they're doing that in really four facets. They're participating in service learning, they're doing study abroad, they're working in internships, and they're also conducting research in a wide variety of areas. And you can see these are just a couple of samples, but one of our students from our CJ and National Security program, she did an internship with the FBI just a couple of years ago. We had a student in our IO psychology program devising tactics for diversity recruitment from a major Fortune 500 corporation in Hartford. We have students in our cellular and molecular biology program who have been identifying new treatments for reproductive cancers. One of our faculty members has specialized experience and research in that area. And some of our engineering students working on the inner workings of a Stirling engine. We also have one of only 7 solar training testing laboratories in the entire country, and one of them is based here on the campus, and our students in engineering get an opportunity to study and do research in that facility, so it's really cutting edge. We also have one of our students on the upper right-hand corner here. She was a forensic science student, but she was concentrating in fire science work, and she was looking at steel breakdown and how you can actually process evidence from burnt steel, so from a very high temperature fire, being able to still process evidence from steel composites. So it's really interesting work that she did. We had a number of our education students that did some work on studying the sensory effects of art and music and how that improved writing skills for primary school students. So there was some very interesting research that was done in our education program. We also had students in our MBA program looking at attractiveness factors in terms of competitive advantage and marketing, and that was actually done internationally in Turkey with shopping malls there. And we also had a group of our students that go every year in national security to Russia to study national security issues there. So again, very interesting research and hands-on work. We want to make sure that our students are prepared and marketable, particularly in the economy the way it is now, and industries are getting tighter in terms of job opportunities. We want to make sure that you're sitting across the table from other applicants and you have the cutting edge because you have real experience in these areas, you have research, you've done study abroad, you've done a variety of things that really add value to you and make you more marketable and help you get that job after you graduate. We have a number of new graduate programs. We're really trying to address market demands, and particularly that's not any more true than with our emergency management program. Of course, with Hurricane Sandy and a number of other natural disasters that we've had of late, it's becoming increasingly important to have properly trained emergency managers. And we have a lot of municipalities and cities are hiring emergency managers as actual positions. So we have one of the few programs in the country that offer training to prepare students in those areas. We also are one of the oldest programs in the country in criminal justice. We've been offering criminal justice education for over 60 years, and we now have not only our on-ground master's program in criminal justice, but also a fully online program in criminal justice. So you can complete the degree completely online if you choose to do that. It is available now. We also have our Management of Sports Industries program. We have that on the campus, one of the oldest and most well-known in the country, and we also were ranked nationally and worldwide as one of the best programs in sport management. So we're very excited for that accolade. But in addition to our on-ground program, we now will be offering a fully online version of that program as well, starting in the fall of this year, so in September of 2013. For students who already possess a master's degree, we're offering a new 6th-year certificate in instructional technologies and digital media literacy through our education program. Students have to be employed in some sort of training or teaching capacity in order to be eligible to come into the program. But we're starting that this summer, and we actually are doing all the course instruction on an iPad. So it's really intuitive work, and you could be doing, whether you're a teacher or you're in a training capacity, say in human resources, this is a really cutting-edge degree. It's a step up. It's before a PhD, but after a master's. A 6-year certificate is an additional graduate degree, and it offers you some really specialized coursework in determining how to use digital media most effectively in training capabilities today. We also have a new concentration within our sports management program in collegiate athletic administration. That's really to address the need that many of our students are coming in and they want to work in a college setting as, say, a director of athletics or as a coach. Now, we've been offering graduate programs here for nearly 50 years. We have about 30 graduate degree programs, so both masters, and then we also offer a PhD program in criminal justice. And then we also have 25 graduate certificates. These certificates are generally 4 courses, and they can be completed as part of a degree, so you can get an additional credential while you're here, or you can get them on their own. So you could say start, if you just want to get your feet wet and not do a full master's degree to start, you could do a 4-course certificate to begin and then apply it towards a degree at a later time. So it's a good flexible option for you. And that's really one thing that's critical and key to what the graduate school offers for you here, is that we have a lot of opportunity for you to be flexible and customized about what you do with your scheduling and with the types of programs that we offer and the electives that we offer. So you have a lot of flexibility to really make the master's degree work for you, or the PhD for that matter. We have trimester scheduling, which really makes us unique. There's not a lot of schools that offer this, but you actually have 3 full academic terms in a time frame that's similar to what you normally get in 2 semesters at most colleges. So you get 3 terms in. That allows you to get your degree done a little bit more quickly. Most of our programs can be done on a full-time basis within a year and a half, and you're in and out. Our education program is actually much shorter. It's about a year if you do that on a full-time basis. Our MBA can be completed in as little as a year with waiver credits. And for those of you who might be studying part-time, if you're a working professional in the area, you can get most of our degrees done on a completely part-time basis within 2.5 years or so, depending on how many credits you take at a time. Now, the majority of our courses are offered in the evening, so generally you'd have one course, say, one night per week from 6 to 9. So you'd be going one night a week for 13 weeks in a traditional trimester. We also offer some weekend offerings as well that offer you some a little bit more abbreviated courses. In terms, you'll actually be meeting for the same number of hours, but you'll be doing it over a more condensed amount of time. So you might go for 2 weekends, let's say, to complete an entire course. So there are some weekend offerings that allow you to get some flexibility in your schedule. But as I mentioned before, we really want to personalize your experience here. We have small class sizes, very personalized attention. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the faculty that you'll be experiencing in our programs. We have 212 full-time faculty members on our campus. That's by no means our total number of faculty. We also have a lot of adjunct faculty that are working in the field. And you'll find that even the majority of our full-time faculty that are academically credentialed with PhDs and such, they have real experience in their field. For instance, our forensic science program, every single one of them has real experience in the field, even though they are also academically qualified. I believe that's also true of our education program, for instance, and similarly with IO psychology. So a number of our programs are almost fully staffed, if not entirely staffed, by folks that have worked in the field, that have that real knowledge of how to get their hands dirty in the field. They're not just coming out of a PhD program and just teaching you the theory. They're teaching you how to do it. And then you're practicing that in real facilities like our Wall Street trading floor or our crime scene training centers in forensic science. Or you're going out to internships, or you're doing research, say in our cellular biology program or in engineering, and you're applying that knowledge. So again, you've got things that you're building your resume, building your tangible skills so that you graduate with something marketable. Now, our student-faculty ratio, I want to point out, is 15:1, so it's very personalized for the graduate school. You're not going into lecture halls of hundreds of students. It's a personalized experience here. You're a name and a face. And that really, in terms of the economy right now and in terms of your career dreams and your goals, having a personalized experience where people know you, they know what your goals are, they know how to serve you, they know what your interests are, then you're allowed to get that much more direct experience so that you're successful when you graduate. You're not just floating into classes and trying to figure it out on your own. You have advisement that's actively there for you regularly throughout the program. You have a program advisor. You have alumni that you can connect with. You have student clubs that you can connect with in many cases. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to make sure that you're successful and that you graduate, that you're happy with the degree, you're happy with your investment, and you're happy with the job that you obtain after graduation. Now I'm going to talk to you about each of the 4 colleges here. I know there's a number of students on the line for different programs. A few of our students I know that are interested in education. Our education program is actually free. That's our favorite word. But it's the way that the education program is structured is that if you do it full time for a year, so it's about for your actual courses, you're going from September to July or so, so less than a year of actual coursework. And then you'll be doing your student teaching following that. So your total time to completion, including your student teaching to get to certification, is about 16 months. So it's about a year and a half, so it's pretty quick to get done. But your actual coursework is less than a year. And your coursework of 36 credits is actually paid for if you do an internship during the day while you're in the program. And we help you secure that internship. You'll be working in a school system. And so that 36 credit master's degree is free for you. So it's a fantastic benefit. The only thing that you would pay for are the 6 credits of student teaching credits and advisement at the end of the program. So really great benefit. Now within the College of Arts and Sciences, we also offer a number of science-oriented programs. Cellular and molecular biology I mentioned earlier on. We also have a great environmental science program that really utilizes the Long Island Sound and the great location we have here, only 5 minutes from the water. We also have a partnership with a laboratory on San Salvador Island in the Bahamas. So some of our students will go down in January and study in the Bahamas. So it's a great opportunity for you to do that. We also offer human nutrition. And then a couple of programs in psychology. We are really prominently known across the country for our IO psychology and community psychology programs. They're very academically rigorous. They're very the preparation that you get for jobs is as applied as you can get. There's actually a supervised internship program as part of the community psychology program. And then within industrial organizational psychology, you have the option of doing research, an internship, or a thesis. And IO psychology is really designed for students who want to go into organizational development and change or human resource type work. So it's a great program, very hands-on, very social, very active, a lot of group-based work. So that's really a good program that we offer there. And then in addition to the teacher certification program in education, we also offer a professional education program for those that have already gotten certified within the state. And we also offer the 6th-year program that I mentioned to you before. We also have our College of Business, again, one of our oldest colleges on the campus that started as early as 1920 when we first started started the university. And our MBA program is our largest on the campus. We have a number of concentrations throughout the MBA program that allow you to customize your study. And we're actually going to be migrating some of our core classes and eventually all of our core classes online for that program. So you will have the option of taking the core portion of that program online before you get to the campus. And again, I mentioned you can waive some courses in the introductory core based on your undergraduate study. And that's true of management sports industries as well if you have some business undergraduate coursework. Within the MBA, we also offer an EMBA for advanced managers, those with significant managerial experience that are aspiring for the C-suite, the CEO, CFO. So that program we currently offer in downtown New Haven at our executive center. We also offer a number of programs in healthcare, labor relations, public administration that are all very closely related. The healthcare administration being a very popular program these days, with that being one of the hot button industries that are really hiring and have a lot of jobs available right now. We also offer labor relations, which is very specialized human resource type work where you're working with unions and things. Public administration for those who want to work in government and public policy. And we also offer a taxation program with a break during tax time. So that's designed for tax professionals or accounting professionals who want to get specialized accounting experience. The accounting work that you do there, if you have an undergraduate accounting degree, you can take the taxation program and use those credits toward the credit requirement to sit for the CPA exam. So that's an option for you as well. We also offer a couple of dual degrees. One is our MBA MPA program, so it's business and public administration. And we also offer an MBA and MSIE industrial engineering program with the engineering college, and I'll talk about that briefly in a moment. Now, within the engineering college, we offer a number of different programs: mechanical engineering, electrical, environmental engineering. Our students actually work in some of the water treatment facilities in the local area. We also offer computer science and network systems that allow you to do database type work and also some computer engineering oriented work. Our newest program in the engineering college is our engineering and operations management program. That's really designed as a hybrid to offer you management type skills as they would be applied in an engineering facility. So for instance, if you're working in a manufacturing facility and you're managing a line, we would prepare you in this degree to become a manager of a facility like that, or eventually moving up the ranks and working at a major manufacturing company. And you're doing work in Lean Six Sigma and process improvement and those types of things within that program. So it's very intuitive and certainly meeting a market demand that exists very much so right now. We also have the industrial engineering program that I mentioned with a combined program with the MBA if you wish to do a dual degree program with that. Now finally, we have our Henry C. Lee College of Criminal Justice and Forensic Sciences. Of course, Dr. Lee being one of our namesakes, known internationally for his work. And we offer, again, we're one of the oldest programs in the country in criminal justice, offering both a master's and a PhD level program in that. We also offer emergency management, the new program that I mentioned. Fire science, we have a burn lab on the campus, so we have actual rooms that are modular and they're on caster wheels that we actually take them out, we burn them in a real fire, and then we have our students process them for arson investigation. So our students are looking for accelerants, they're looking for evidence, determining causes of fires, those kinds of things in a real facility. So again, that experiential education component is very important. We also offer forensic science. We're one of the tops in the country. We're actually anticipating getting full FEPAC accreditation this week from the American Association of Forensic Science. They're actually at the conference as we speak in Washington, D.C., and we're very excited for that. Also one of the oldest in the country, started in the late 70s by Dr. Lee. So we have a true core forensic science program. It didn't come out of the CSI boom and the Law and Order boom. It was a program that was cutting edge then and is cutting edge now, and we're one of the oldest and most reputable programs in the country in that. We also were the first in the country to implement a national security program. We put the paperwork in, ironically, right before 9/11, and were approved for the program shortly thereafter. And it's a great program for homeland security issues, federal government work. A number of our students go and work for the DoD or Secret Service or FBI after the program. We have a number of our faculty that have FBI experience that are in the program, and give some great internship opportunities there as well. So that gives you a little overview of our core programs. We offer some of these programs in what we call a cohort fashion, and the cohort fashion allows you to take the program in generally an accelerated type schedule where you might be going to class 1 or 2 days a week with the same group of students. So that's the cohort name that we're talking about. And you follow the whole program with a set schedule. Many of these programs offer books and meals included as part of their tuition. It's a little bit higher tuition for these programs. But it allows you to be on a set schedule, and it's really designed for working professionals. So we do offer these programs for you in the local area if you're a working professional and want to take advantage of that. Now, our main campus is located here in West Haven. All of our traditional graduate programs are offered here. We also have a southeastern campus in New London. It's actually based on the campus of Mitchell College. We have most of our cohort programs that are offered there, and we also offer our MBA program at that campus. We also offer courses in education at our Meriden location. We also have our EMBA program down in New Haven at the moment. We also have our Sawmill Road location in West Haven where we have our education program currently, and we also offer a number of our cohorts, including IO psychology and our engineering and operations management program. We formerly offered our MBA in Shelton. Unfortunately, we won't be offering that again this year, but we are investigating the potential of moving our College of Business to a brand new corporate site that we just we're looking into purchasing down in Orange, Connecticut, so not too far from the campus, but we'll provide an executive center with a number of business incubator type things and some executive meeting rooms and, of course, classrooms, and our College of Business will be located there at some point in the near future, so we're looking forward to that. Now, a little bit about applying. And again, if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to enter them in the box. I'm happy to stop and answer any questions that you have. If you're interested in applying, we do have a rolling application deadline for most of our programs, so you can really apply at any time. If you apply online, the application is currently free, so you don't have to pay an application fee. If you apply on paper, it's $75, so you can definitely save a little bit of money if you go online and complete it there. Now, if you apply, we actually just learned last week that if you apply by April 15th, we will, and you end up enrolling in this fall only, so only for this coming fall, we will apply a $500 tuition credit to your account. So that's a fantastic benefit for you if you want to consider applying soon, and then you end up coming to the university in September and enrolling courses. We will apply a $500 credit for you. So that's great, and they'll offset some of your costs of your books, for instance, in the first term. So just something to think about. We also offer discounts for our alumni. If you have come to the university in the past and earned your bachelor's degree here, we do have some discounts available. And we also have discounts available for anybody who's a sworn fireman or a police officer in the state of Connecticut, and you're studying in the Lee College. We do offer a very generous tuition discount for anybody that's a sworn officer studying any of the Lee College programs like fire science, criminal justice, forensic science, emergency management, or national security. Now, once you apply online, we're going to need additional application materials from you. We do require 2 letters of recommendation, and you'll see that on the application you can actually indicate the name and email address of your recommenders on the application. And what that allows you to do is the system will send an automated message to them with secure credentials to log into our system. And then once they log in, they can provide your recommendation right online. And you don't have to go chase them and get your letter and have to mail that to us. They can just do it all online. So if you'd like to do that, feel free to fill that portion out on your application, and then that'll allow you to save that step in mailing anything to us. Now, we do require all official college transcripts from anywhere that you've attended school. So even if you took one class over the summer somewhere at a college, we do need you to send those transcripts. So that's very important that you send those to us. They have to be in a sealed envelope. So if they were issued to you as a student, if you got a student transcript, that's fine as long as it's sealed and you bring it to us. Or you can mail it to us if you choose to do that. Now, if you, depending on the program, some programs require that you submit a resume. For instance, our business programs do require that you submit a resume, our education program as well. But regardless, if you have work experience, if you have internship experience or research experience, I would strongly encourage you to send a resume, even if you're not required to submit one for your program. You'll see that you can upload a document on the application, so feel free to upload your resume there, or you can email it to us or mail it to us. We'll take it any way that you'd like, but be sure to consider adding that to your application if you have one. Some of our programs do require test scores, but not all of them do. Our education program requires that you take the Praxis 1 exam and eventually the Praxis 2 exam, so something to consider there. Our College of Business requires that if you're taking an MBA or sports management or taxation, you are required to submit scores from the GMAT or the GRE, so those are required. And then if you are looking into forensic science, into the criminalistics program only, so the criminalistics concentration only, you do have to submit GRE scores. Other than that, for the most part, our programs don't require any scores. The cellular molecular biology program does require the GRE. Otherwise, your program, if you take the scores, by all means, send them along to us. But you aren't required for most of our programs to submit any kind of questions or any kind of scores for that. You also, for a personal statement, you are required to submit a personal statement as part of an education process. If you're an education student, you do have to complete a personal statement through the process, but it's not the one that's on the application. So you'll see that on the application, but don't complete that. You don't need to complete that portion. You can complete it on the separate essay form that we provide to you. Any national security applicants are required to submit a personal statement. Otherwise, our personal statement is not a requirement for the programs. It doesn't detract from your application if you don't complete it. If you do complete it, it'll certainly, it just offers another thing for us to look at in the application process, and that offers you an opportunity to maybe discuss your passion for the field or what you want to do with your major, or even if you have grades that you aren't fully satisfied with, that gives you an opportunity to maybe perhaps discuss why your grades aren't where you'd like them to be. Maybe you had a family challenge or commitment that prevented you from focusing fully on your studies. We often see things like that. So be sure to think about that as you go. And anything that you're going to be mailing to us in the application process, you must submit all your required materials to graduate admissions. So regardless of what you send to us, make sure it says attention graduate admissions on it. That includes your transcripts. So if you request your transcripts from your college or university that you attended previously, make sure you have them sent attention graduate admissions. If they say just admissions on them, they often go to our undergraduate office, and that'll unfortunately delay your application decision from us. So make sure you send anything to the address you see on the screen with attention graduate admissions, with the exception of our programs that have a deadline. Now, Forensic Science has a March 15th deadline, so you have to have a completed application on file by March 15th to be considered for Forensic Science if you're interested in that. Our education program has kind of a floating deadline, but you can apply for the fall pretty much through June or so. And then for January, you can apply generally through beginning of November. So, but certainly the sooner the better that you can. But decisions are generally given within 2 weeks or so of when you, your completed application is here in our office, and we provide your information to the program committee for an admission decision. With the exception of Forensic Science, because we only, for instance, in criminalistics, take only 12 to 14 students total a year for that program. So they review applications for that program by committee, and oftentimes we'll wait for a series of applications to come in, and then they review them as a group. So that may delay your decision a little bit in Forensic Science. Otherwise, we generally get a decision back within 2 to 3 weeks to you. So we're relatively quick. You can check your application status on your VIP page. You may have heard about that in your email if you're on our email list, and the login is provided for you on our graduate admissions page as well. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. I see there's a question about the part-time teacher certification program. So I mentioned the program that is done on a full-time basis, and those students do them generally with the internship during the day, and then you're coming to classes at night, usually 3 nights a week. Now, for a part-time student, you can take one class at a time, 2 classes at a time. Unfortunately, that same tuition benefit is not available for a part-time student because you aren't able to dedicate the time to an internship. But you're what we call a capstone student. So a capstone student is coming just in the evenings, taking courses in the education program at your own pace. And generally, students complete the program within, say, 2.5 years or so, depending on how many credits you take at a time. So it is relatively quick to complete, and you will have to do your student teaching beyond that. You will have to commit time to actually doing your student teaching for several months in one of the school systems, and that's for your that's specifically for your teacher certification in the state of Connecticut. So you can come and get your master's degree in education and take that as a capstone student and take as long as you need to get that done. But then following that, you would have to do your student teaching at some point. So that's just something to consider. You also will have to do a couple of, they're kind of practicums, class visits, where you'll have to take some time. If you're working full-time, you might have to take a few hours off work, like a morning off work, and go in and kind of audit a class. You have to go in and sit in on a series of classes that are happening in a local school. So that's part of your kind of practicum work within the education program. So that's just another thing to think about in terms of your time commitment. But otherwise, you can maintain a full-time job and go as a capstone student in the evening for the program, and that's perfectly fine. We have a number of students that do that every year. There is a question about healthcare administration. Yeah, that program, we have a number of concentrations in that. Perhaps one of the most prominent is our long-term care program. We actually work alongside the state requirements. We're the only school provider in the state now that offers the master's, or at least offers the, you don't even need to do the master's if you want to be long-term care certified. We also offer the long-term care certificate, and you can take the required coursework here. It's actually only a series of a couple of courses that you'd need to take and we could help advise you on getting your internship. You'd have to sit in on, I believe it's about 500 hours, between 500 and 1,000 hours that you have to complete in a long-term care internship capacity. So that is a pretty substantial time commitment if you chose to do the long-term care, but we are the only provider in the state that helps you get to the certification for Connecticut long-term care certification. So it's really a great program. We also offer some other programs in program development and things within healthcare administration. That is an evening program currently. We offer a cohort on a limited basis to employees of Yale New Haven Hospital, so we do have a cohort option of that, but only for employees there. Otherwise, the program's here in the evenings during the week, and then we're talking about offering some Saturday courses for that program as well, so you'll have some options to think about that. We do have a lot of contacts with our faculty in the program that can help you go into, say, a long-term care facility or go into a hospital and shadow somebody who's working in the field. Certainly that's something you can inquire about with the faculty, and they're happy to help assist you locate those options. Our location is certainly prime for that. We have one of the best hospitals in the country here at Yale. We also have a number of hospitals within close proximity in Milford, and Yale just consolidated or joined forces with the St. Raphael's Hospital in New Haven, so we have a pretty massive hospital down there now, and a number of other regional hospitals within half hour to 45 minutes of the campus. So we have a lot of opportunities for you to do some job shadowing and internships if you'd like. Now, for cellular and molecular biology, yes, they are looking for the GRE, and the tuition, I actually am going to get to the tuition. The tuition is the same for all of our students, so let me get to that now. It's actually our next slide, so perfect timing. Tuition currently is $7.75 per credit hour. Now, that expires in expires in summer of 2013, so we're coming up on that. The new credit hour cost, the tuition cost generally changes on an annual basis, and we are expecting about a 3% increase. So that will put your total cost per credit at approximately $800 per credit. So just so you're thinking in the future here, if you're going to be coming in the fall, our per credit cost will be about $800 per credit. The only fees that we charge you are $45 total for each term that you're enrolled. So there's 3 terms in the academic year, so you'll be talking about $135 total in fees, and that includes your graduate student council fee and a technology fee, and that's all we're talking about. We don't have a comprehensive fee like many institutions have that we charge you a few $1,000s just to say we have a fee for you. We don't charge any fees that are hidden once you get here and just surprise you on your bill. So you're talking about just $800 per credit hour starting in the fall, and about $45 or only $45 per term that you're enrolled. So it's not per course, it's not per credit. It's $45 once per term, so once in the fall, winter, and spring when you're here. So it's pretty straightforward in terms of pricing. Now, we are a private institution, so we do recognize that our costs are a bit higher than what you'd see at the state institutions, but we do have a number of financing options available for you, things for you to consider in offsetting your costs. Now, unfortunately, at the graduate school level, and this is true of most graduate institutions, we don't have the plethora of different types of aid that undergraduate colleges offer in many cases that have grants and work study and scholarships and all those types of things. So we have some of those options, but not as many. Right now we have, so most graduate students will end up taking Stafford loans. You may be familiar with Stafford loans. They are at a fixed lower interest rate, so currently about 6.5%, I believe. They have flexible loan repayment terms, which is nice. And you qualify virtually automatically as long as you're a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen to qualify for $20,500 per year. That covers about your full-time tuition for the entire year if you are a full-time student. Now, if you're a part-time student, you can take less than that $20,500. Of course, you're not required to take it regardless, but you have the option of taking up to $20,500 for your studies. And for those of you who are full-time students, you can also take advantage of our graduate work program. We offer these assistantships on the campus in teaching assistantships, research assistantships, and then also these administrative awards. Each of those offers half of your tuition will be waived, and then you also get an hourly stipend of about, it's currently minimum wage, so I think it's $8.25 or so an hour for work up to 20 hours per week in one of these 3 capacities. Some of these are given out as part of the admissions process, so you will be notified if you've been given one there. But we also have the remainder of them, and this is the majority of them, that you can apply to. Just like a job, you'd be submitting your resume and be considered for that position. Then it's a great way to offset your costs. So now instead of, say, $21,000 for your tuition for a full-time student for the entire year, that now becomes $10,500 for the year. And then if you wanted to, you could take the full Stafford loan, and that remaining $10,000 that you don't need for tuition, you can use for housing expenses and books and meals and things, anything that you need to use while you're here in school, anything that can support your education-related expenses, you can do that. So that's a great option. What many of our full-time students will do is take that full Stafford loan and do an assistantship, and that offsets their costs quite considerably and makes it very affordable to come here to graduate school. If needed, some of our graduate students have pursued Graduate Plus loans or private loans. That's not always necessary, but some of our students have considered those as an alternative as well. Now, we also have, new this year, we have a series of half-tuition scholarships that we're awarding to engineering students. So if you're coming in for computer science or electrical engineering, mechanical, industrial engineering, engineering and operations management, any of those programs, you can be considered for one of these 15 half-tuition scholarships that will be awarded for you for the duration of your program. So that's a great opportunity. You have to be a U.S. citizen to be eligible for those scholarships, so just so you're aware, but that is available for U.S. students if you're pursuing computer science or anything in the engineering college. So it's a great option for you. And of course, if you're pursuing the PhD program in criminal justice, there are other options there for full assistantships in terms of TAs and things that we also offer. Now, to be considered for any sort of aid, you have to complete the FAFSA. Many of you have probably completed this in the past. It's the free application for federal student aid. It's a very important form. For those of you who are coming from your undergraduate studies, you no longer need to indicate your parents' financial information on the FAFSA as a graduate student, so that's a great benefit. You don't have to worry about that as you're applying. And again, the Stafford loans are awarded pretty much to virtually anybody. It's not really need-based, and it's not something that dries up. So when you have, when you've seen and you see here the March 1st priority deadline for financial aid, you'll see that on our website. If you don't fill out a financial aid application until after March 1st, that doesn't mean the aid is gone. That doesn't mean Stafford loans are gone. All the priority deadline means is that we will ensure that your paperwork gets filed right away if you send your information to us by March 1st. But we process applications for financial aid right up until the start of classes in September or in January or in April, depending on when you choose to start with us. So you can apply for financial aid at any time, even if it comes in late after the time you start your studies. We can notify the bursar, and then they retroactively put your money onto your account, so you don't have to worry about paying money out of pocket for that. So don't get scared by the financial aid deadline. You can apply for financial aid at any time, but certainly the sooner the better for any of these things, because then we can help get you prepared for the fall or whenever you decide to start your studies. Unfortunately, we don't offer any scholarships currently through the university anyhow for handicapped students, although I know a number of scholarships exist outside. You could try sites like fastweb.com or scholarships.com. A number of them have some great scholarship opportunities for a variety of demographics and different interests and things. So check that out. You might be able to find some scholarship opportunities there. I know there's a number of them that exist. If you have any questions for financial aid, feel free to call them. I posted their information here. They're happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm just going to talk briefly about student life. We have a number of major or graduate program-oriented clubs and organizations on the campus. Our Forensic Science Club, for instance, does a lot of networking and things within the program, brings in speakers, and they also are affiliated with AFES, the American Association for Forensic Science, and they're actually, a number of them are at the conference this week in Washington, D.C. with their faculty. So they're getting great professional resource opportunities and networking opportunities by going to those conferences. Similarly, we have a SHRM chapter on our campus, the Society for Human Resource Management. A number of our MBA students and our IO psychology students participate in that. For our cellular and molecular biology students, there's a Lyme disease club, and they work on research within Lyme disease. We have a sports management club. So all of these things are really great opportunities for you to network and learn more outside of the classroom and meet professionals in the field and do trips and things related to the work that you're doing. We also have a Graduate Student Council, which is our largest organization on campus. They sponsor a graduation banquet before each graduation. They also do trips to the local area. If you're not from here, we do trips to New York City. We do ski trips up to Montreal. We've done trips to Boston. So there's a great way to socialize and meet other people that you may not already know, certainly through your program, and get a chance to see the area a little bit. And it's very inexpensive for all these trips. They're all offset by those Graduate Student Council fees that are paid by all of our students. We also have Division II athletics. We're part of the Northeast 10, which is regarded as one of the most competitive conferences in all of Division II in the entire country. And our football team has been tops of the NE10 the last 3 years. And our head coach of football team has been named Coach of the Year for Division II this year, so we're really excited for him. That's Pete Rossimondo. And just a neat tidbit, one of our former football coaches, former head coaches, was Tony Sperano, who was head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and was more recently with the New York Jets. So we have some great contacts in professional sports from our programs. We also have our women's volleyball team has been in the national tournament virtually every year for the last 10 to 15 years. So some very active and competitive athletic teams, and just a great campus experience just to be able to participate in some of the athletics and go to the games and things. So you really appreciate that. For recreation, we offer a recreation center that actually just celebrated its 5-year anniversary just last week. And your recreation center membership is included in your tuition. So that's even better. You don't have to go buy a separate membership to go to the recreation center. We have a 2-floor fitness facility. You see the middle photo there shows our treadmill and elliptical room. We also have a free weight facility downstairs. We have 3 full-size basketball courts, 2 of which are traditional basketball courts, and 1 is a multi-activity court. That's that blue court you see that they do indoor soccer and floor hockey and things in. And we have an elevated walking and jogging track, as well as squash and racquetball courts, and several fitness rooms where they offer Zumba and spinning and yoga classes that you can take advantage of here as well. So it's really a great thing to have on campus. For those of you not familiar with the area, I know most of you are from Connecticut, but we're a true college city. We've got 6 colleges and universities located right here in the greater New Haven area. We're world-renowned for some of our food options here, and I'll talk about those in a moment. Great nightlife, museums and things, clubs, concert halls. It's a really great city. We're only 5 minutes from the beach, so we're very close to doing some water sports and going and just hanging out on the beach. And we have a great boardwalk down there and food and things. We also have the city of New Haven that we're close to. We're not right in the middle of, so we aren't an urban campus, which is nice. And then we also have, within 15 to 20 minutes of us, great hiking and outdoor activities. So a little bit of everything, only close by. And we're about 2.5 hours south of Boston. We can reach Boston on Amtrak very easily from downtown New Haven. And we also are only about an hour and 40 minutes out of New York City. So we're the northernmost point on the Metro North rail line, and you can get into New York very easily. Many of our students go down there and go to Rockefeller Center and go to see some of the shows and just socialize at the holiday time and all that. So there's really a lot of great things very close to the campus, so it's a great place to kind of have a college student experience even in your graduate studies. For food around it, if you're a foodie, you have to consider coming to New Haven. This is a fantastic place to be. We have some of the best pizza that you'll know. If you watch the Food Network or Travel Channel, you'll see the city of New Haven featured in there with on the pizza shows with Sally's and Pepe's Pizza, their world-famous pizza. Frank Sinatra's driver used to come up from Manhattan and get Sally's Pizza when he was here. Of course, we have some other pizza that's debated for the locals, Moderate and Abate's and a few others, and bar pizza. You see the mashed potato pizza there in the middle. They're all undisputably the best in pizza in the world. So we've got some great pizza here. We're also home to the original hamburger at Louis' Lunch. You see in the lower right corner here. This is on our Pinterest page, by the way, so if you've been on Pinterest, you can see some of our boards and follow some of the things that we're posting about what it's like to be a student here. We also have some fantastic ethnic food in the area. Turkish, we have Cuban, we have Ethiopian. So it's really a cultural melting pot around here, so you can get all types of food. And, of course, you can't go wrong with our seafood. You see the lobster roll in the upper left. We have some fantastic seafood right along the waterfront. And particularly during the summer, it's a great thing to go and check out all the lobster rolls from here and up the shoreline all the way up to Clinton and Westbrook. And so there's some really great opportunities to see the area and check out the shoreline while you're here. So as you go through the process, I certainly encourage you to connect with us as much as you can. You're already taking the first step in being part of a webinar today, and we really appreciate your time and joining us. But take advantage of your VIP page, check your application status, learn about your program a bit, find out what's going on. You can also RSVP for our open house and other events there. And you can connect with us on any number of social networks. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and you saw a bit of our Pinterest page there. We're also on LinkedIn, and if you go on LinkedIn and join our group, you can actually talk to some of our alums and faculty and staff. But there's a lot of alumni there. They post jobs. They talk about things that they're doing in the field. So it's really a good way to kind of get a feel for what your outcomes can be. For getting a master's degree here, it's all well and good to invest that kind of money, but what kind of outcome can you have? So you can see what our student success is like just by talking to a few of our alums on LinkedIn if you want to check that out. And here I put all of our contact information. If you have any questions for any one of us, again, I talked about personalized experience. We want to make sure you answer all of the questions that you have, make you feel comfortable about determining not only is UNH a good fit for you, but is going to graduate school the right fit for you? Is pursuing a degree in business versus a degree in science right for you? And so we'll be happy to help kind of address all those issues with you, help you determine if UNH is the right fit. And believe me, we're the first to tell you that if there's a better program for you out there for the career goals that you have, we'll be happy to steer you in the right direction and connect you with the right people at other schools to make sure that you're successful in whatever you do. So I'd love to have you all come to the University of New Haven, but I also know that this is a big time commitment. This is a big financial commitment for you. It's an investment in your life and your future, and we want to make sure that you're making that right decision. And we hope that right decision is here, but certainly we'll be happy to discuss with you other options if you decide that UNH is not the best fit for you. We'll be certainly candid in discussing those options with you. Now, as you go through the process, you each have an assigned admissions counselor within our office to help you with any questions that you have or help you with your application and addressing anything that might be missing for you. So if you're applying for anything in the College of Arts and Sciences that you saw earlier, Linda Kessler is your contact, so you can write down her phone number there or email address. If you're applying for any of the Lee College programs, the public safety-oriented programs like forensic science, criminal justice, national security, emergency management, and fire science, Layla Phillips is your contact, and Mike Wennick is your contact if you're interested in any of the business or engineering programs. So certainly take down their information. Feel free to reach out to them at any time. We can accommodate any requests that you have, answer any questions that you have. Even if you need a chance to tour the campus, come on down. We'll be happy to set up a tour. You can come to an open house. We can have you sit in on a class. I'll even show you around the local area if you need to find housing. We're happy to help you with anything that you might need. So with that said, I'd be happy to entertain any questions that you have. I know that we went a few minutes long today. I really appreciate your time, and I really hope that this was helpful. We will be sending out a follow-up email to you, and you'll see that there's a link to a brief survey in there. I hope you'll give us some candid feedback about what you thought about this session and hope that you got the right information that you need. So if you have any questions, I'll stay on here for a few minutes, and feel free to enter them in the box. And otherwise, we'll let you get on your way. So any questions at this point? Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you coming. Thanks, Samara. All right, so it doesn't look like there are any other questions right now, so feel free to use any of the information there. Feel free to email me, give me a call. I'll also text with you if that's a preference for you. So let me know how you'd like to get any of your questions answered. And otherwise, thanks so much for your time, and we hope to be able to serve you in the future here. So thanks so much, and have a great day.